Can you please start by introducing yourself for everyone listening online?
Sure. This is Matt with guitarist.
You have a new album coming out in September called Sweat It Out. What can you tell me about it?
It's a record that we made in the summer of last year that we finished in November. It's produced by Brendan OBrien. And basically, we went through a lot of turmoil with record labels and stuff like that, so it's basically coming out about a year after we finished it. But it's just a rock and roll record, we're really proud of. I don't really know how to describe it other than that. It's pretty similar to what we do, but just a lot better.
You worked with Brendan OBrien on this album. What was it like working with him?
He's about the most talented human being that I've ever met in my life. We just had a lot of fun, a lot of laughs, and really, interesting, creative atmosphere, I guess. But he's just insanely talented and has stories for years about everyone that, everyone that's great in the music world. So.
How many songs did you write for the album, and how did you narrow it down to the 13 you chose?
I think there was about maybe 20 or 25 that were written for the album, mainly just because it took so long for us to find the producer that we wanted, by the time that we decided to start making a record. So we basically just recorded demos of everything and, had a lot of conversations between the band members and management types and record labels and stuff like that. And ultimately it was just myself and Brendan OBrien that chose the songs that we wanted to do.
You chose Gimme Chemicals as the first single and video for the album. How did you decide on that to represent the album, and when should fans expect to hear it on the radio and see it on TV?
We shot the video this past weekend, and it's being edited right now, so it should be done in about 3 weeks. As far as radio, I guess they're going to be doing that probably the month the record comes out, maybe in September. We chose it just because it kind of represents the album just in that it's kind of the antithesis of Little Razor Blade. It's not a shiny 3-minute pop song for MTV, but still has pop elements and stuff. But it's definitely kind of just like the other side of the band. So it felt like the last record cycle, having only one single and having it be that song, it was kind of a strange representation of us. So it's kind of the other side of the band, I guess.
What was your favorite song on the new album, The Right, and why?
I have to think about that. Performing is definitely getting overall, it might be a song called Don't Wait For Me. And why, it's a song about being on tour, and it's kind of a departure for us, kind of more of like a Rolling Stones, Some Girls era ballad, I guess, kind of like, I wouldn't say country, but just like that kind of thing. So it's like true to life, just kind of like, happen to find the words to describe kind of what we're going through. So
you did a few weeks on the band's Warped Tour this year, and this is the second time you were on the tour. How did the tour go, and were there any highlights that you would like to share?
This time was very different than the first time we'd done it. We hadn't. The first time there was a lot of hype behind us, and it was kind of in the midst of about to release a record. And this time, it was just kind of more like, instead of people being interested, it was more people that kind of already knew us. So there's also excitement for this record, but there hasn't really been any push whatsoever. By the time we got on the tour, we just got the record back from Universal, so there had been no, we didn't have posters or anything for the record. So, and also not to mention that we were just doing it without crew in a van and trailer rather than on a bus and having all those luxuries. So it was a lot more work. I think we kind of appreciated everything a lot more. It's kind of more of like a, kind of really fucked up adventure, I guess. Just trying to, after you get loaded in at about 8 in the morning and unload this huge truck with all your gear, and then at the end end of the night, around 10 o'clock, you basically just drive 6 to 10 hours to the next show and do it again. So we pretty much just lived in the van almost the entire time, just found showers wherever we could. So definitely character building, I guess, would be one way to describe it. But musically, the shows felt, about the same. It's kind of hard to remember the last time, but definitely really excited for us to play new songs, and we were really excited to be there because it was by far the most fun part of the day was playing shows, when the rest of the time you're driving or sleeping in a van or loading heavy gear.
I don't see any tour dates up on your MySpace for the next few months. Will you be do you have any tours like in the works that you might?
Yeah, we're going across the country for about 2 months in October and November for the record. The West Coast dates are with a band called Sherwood and a few other bands that I don't know if they've confirmed them yet or not. And then the Midwest and East Coast is with a band called Mondo Primo and a band called Cruiserweight. So we're pretty much going to try to hit everywhere in the United States for those 2 months and then take the holidays off.
If you could tour with anyone dead or alive, who would it be and why?
For me, it'd definitely be Elvis Costello, circa 1980, I guess. But I think nowadays he's got so much like solo stuff that's a little more low key that wouldn't really make sense. Plus, the bands that I love that I would want to tour with, pretty great live bands. So like Elvis Costello or The Who or the Ramones, any of those three would be pretty unreal.
Do you have anything else you would like to add or anything you would like to say to your fans?
Thanks for sticking with us. It's been a rough year for us, but things are finally kind of starting to look up. So we're glad that people are still excited about the record as much as we are. And thank you for doing this interview.
Thank you.